Good morning and welcome to Cincy Lifestyle on this gloomy Friday. It is our job to make the day a bit brighter for you, so thank you for joining us. And let me begin, Mona, by wishing you and all of you out there a happy Mother's Day coming up this weekend.
Well, I thank you so much, Clyde. I appreciate that. You know what? My mother passed it's been about 8.5 years ago. And so I still miss her so much, but we had so many great memories. And I think we have a photo of her. One of our favorite things to do with my mom
Aw.
was we went on road trips to New York, and we would, and that's me in her arms and my brother over there on the side. But we had such a great time and had had road trips to New York. We saw Lion King, Lena Horne. We saw Dream Girls. All those things on Broadway. We loved, loved, loved taking road trips. How about you and your mom?
Well, we've taken, and that's my mom there holding her great-granddaughter. But she and I have taken a lot of road trips. I mean, those are our memories when I was a kid. We'd go back and forth to Nashville on the Greyhound bus. And because the interstate system wasn't complete, we'd be taking some back roads and side roads and all that. But what we remember most of the places that we stopped to eat. So yeah, we had road trip memories like that too. And Allie is with us this morning. Allie, we saw some photos of you and your mom.
Yeah, it seems like we all have a lot in common because my family is actually from Rhode Island. So that photo of my mom and I was taken when we were there and we were by the ocean. And so we would find our whole family traveling quite a bit back and forth. But Mona, I really resonate when you said that you would go and you saw the Broadway plays, because that's something that my mom and I love to do together. We'll go to the Aronoff and kind of make an evening of it. And music and the arts really bond us together. And even when I was a kid, I would always burn her CDs for when that was a thing, for the car, and she would ride around listening to the music that I would introduce to her. And every day, actually, I don't know if anybody could see this, but my mom, she also crochets, and this is one of the blankets that she has crocheted for me, so I keep that with me at all times.
One of the
So
memories.
happy Mother's Day, Mother.
One of the memories I have is I used to love to watch my mom put on makeup. And particularly when she was putting on lipstick, I'd be sitting there watching, and she'd stop in the middle of it and look at me, because as she moved her mouth, lipstick like this, I was moving mine. And she was like, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "I can't help it, Mom. I'm sorry." Highly suggestive.
It's so funny how those small memories really
And
stick.
Clyde,
They
who
really
knew?
do. Right. Who knew?
Really, and Clyde, who knew that you would be wearing makeup today?
Okay, Mona, we didn't have to go there, but yeah, who knew?
All Clyde needs is a good red lip.
Wow, I've been outed. Well, thank you, Mona, though, for being so kind as to give me a segue, because I have a question for all of us this morning. What do the Queen of England, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Ed Sheeran have in common? Well, besides worldwide fame and fortune, they've got some really odd approaches to food. They're some of the celebrities whose food quirks lead us to say, who knew? Did we tell you that Ed Sheeran is like really into ketchup? That's right. The musician loves ketchup so much that Page Six reports he has his entourage carry an emergency ketchup bottle around at all times. Hey, given that I like a few French fries with my ketchup, I like this guy. But wait, there's more. Crack.com says Sheeran also has a ketchup tattoo, and an ice cream parlor even made a ketchup-flavored gelato in honor of Sheeran's ketchup obsession. As he would say, "I'm in love with your bottle." Okay, anyway, who knew that singer John Legend has a special routine before each performance? His quote, "I eat the same meal every time, usually a half hour before I go on. Roasted chicken and steamed vegetables, usually broccoli." He told GQ, "Broccoli is like my favorite vegetable. I love it." Finally, an avowed fan for this underrated veggie. But me, I'm with the late President George Bush on this one. No way. On Food Quirks, my stunt double, bodybuilder, and actor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson indulges in cheat meals every once in a while. And when he cheats, boy, does he cheat. The Rock really enjoys his big cookies. Oh, and he goes gaga for sushi. Who knew? Couple of more. The hunky Chris Pratt used to be a waiter at a certain restaurant. What he remembers about his time there 20 years ago is a huge who knew. Pratt posted on Instagram, "Every time I go back, I'm reminded of the thousands of shrimp I ate off of people's plates on the way back to the kitchen. Please tip your server," he wrote. "Leave at least 20%. Also, leave some shrimp." Wow, who knew? All right, we close with a royal who knew. Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth's former chef, Darren McGrady, wrote in a book, "The Queen of England eats her bananas, or bananas, with a knife and fork." Yup, you heard right. And another publication, Insider, says she does it to avoid looking like a monkey. Who knew anybody would eat a banana that way? But then again, can you really picture the Queen of England eating fruit with her hands? Who knew?
Well, if you enjoy finding a good deal and love the hunt of shopping vintage, look no more. That's because today we're showing you the magic of Pixel Base Alpha Warehouse and why you may walk out with more than you were looking for. Take a look.
It's so funny watching people walk in for the first time. It's like a sense of awe that they're like, oh my gosh, because they hear about it and they have this image kind of in their head of what it's going to be like, but they always say that they didn't realize it was this big and we had this much stuff.
Pixel Base Alpha Warehouse. It's 10,000 square feet of hand-picked vintage inventory in Lower Price Hill. The space is a combination of Amanda's brand, Sweet Dahlia Vintage, and Stu's brand, Pixel 19 Vintage.
Pine section going on right now with the reds.
Together, they supply a global clientele with styles ranging from the Elizabethan era up to the 90s.
Basically, we're not really looking for the granny style. We're looking for cool stuff that people are wearing right now. I love the older stuff, turn of the century, 20s through 30s, but you're not really finding that stuff too much in people's homes.
Super bedazzled. Kind of into it.
You know, honestly, every piece in here we picked for a reason. They each represent happiness to someone.
I'm wearing a Canadian tuxedo right now.
Happiness for Amanda means prints and patterns. For Stu, it's vintage band tees, cool leathers, and the overall mission of sustainability. But 10,000 square feet of inventory doesn't just appear from happiness. It's been 30 years of living and breathing vintage. Stu spent a lot of time traveling east to west, utilizing every sourcing avenue. And now that they're established, the phone is ringing.
Because we are on such a large scale, primarily our vintage comes from private homes. We get into homes within a 300-mile radius. We come up first on the internet, so people call us and Amanda goes or we go together and we purchase all the amazing stuff that they have, and sometimes almost the entirety of the content.
Brooks Brothers, tuck shirt, jacket.
It's literally the best part. Digging through attics and basements. Sometimes
we
it's a
love
little
it.
scary, but it's so
we love it.
Amanda and Stu dedicate close to 100 hours a week toward Pixel Base Alpha Warehouse, and their work hasn't gone unnoticed. They've caught the eyes of people and industries from all over the world, even costume designers for feature films. So as their popularity grows, so does the future of vintage and the company.
The future is to continue to grow. We're looking at some things right now, actually, and a couple things in the works that I don't want to mention. But we want to continue to live and breathe and offer this service to everyone, and everyone and anyone is always welcome. My vision is to stay small and stay local and continue to thrive and serve other people.
Wow, Pixel Base Alpha will reopen on May 12th by appointment. They recommend you wear a face mask and continue to practice social distancing. inside the store. You can also check them out on Instagram at Pixel Base Alpha Warehouse. Clyde?
If your heart is still pounding after watching part 1 of the season finale of The Rookie, we wouldn't blame you. It's ABC's latest hit cop drama, and it is a must-watch show. That's why we're happy to tell you more about the show with no one better to tell you than actor Nathan Fillion, who plays John Nolan, or the oldest rookie in the history of the LAPD. Nathan, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, Clyde.
Absolutely. Okay, so it started with Castle and now The Rookie. What's the lure for you and cop shows?
You know what? That's not an uncommon question. I think people have the impression that I say to myself, you know what? I think I'm going to do another cop show. And I pick up the phone and say, make a cop show happen. And it doesn't really happen like that. Opportunities come up. Phone calls start coming to me saying, would you be interested? Sometimes I audition. Sometimes it's an offer. It's just kind of happenstance. What gets made, what people seem to be in the mood for, what gets sold. It's all kind of up in the ether, but not actually really up to me. What I really enjoy is who am I going to be working with? What kind of a character am I going to be playing? And is this an engine that can keep a show running over the years? And I think The Rookie has a fantastic formula.
And in particular, you play Officer John Nolan. We tend to think that there are a lot of ride-alongs with real-life cops and that sort of thing. Is that accurate in terms of how you prepare for a role like this one?
You know, you're not too far from it. A lot of our cast did do ride-alongs with the LAPD. At that time, while they were doing ride-alongs, I was actually over in France trying to sell our show to other arenas, other networks. So I didn't actually do the ride-alongs, but I heard that they ranged in excitement from tacos to a gang party, a gang block party. Apparently, it was like 3 blocks of parties in the street, and it was a real disparity between what kind of excitement you can have in a day in the back of a police car.
So how does a role like this shape you and your perception of the world around you? I mean, you obviously do some preparation for this. What does this role do to you? How does it change you?
One thing I can tell you is we learn a lot about police work. As we go through the show, we educate our audience. We ourselves also learn a great deal about this job. And I can tell you, I've learned about myself, I do not have the calling for police work. This is a very dangerous job that requires a calling.
So let's look ahead a little bit if we can. Can you tell us if there will be a season 3, and if so, you still considered a rookie at that point?
You know, another great question that a lot of people ask. The function of the title is to give you an idea as to who this guy is. Midway through his life, he's starting fresh. He's starting over. We're not entirely concerned about is he a rookie in the police force anymore in season 3. That doesn't bother us. We're looking for the metaphor when it comes to the title. But what was the other part of the question?
The question is, will there be a season 3, or can
season 3?
Yeah, can we reveal that now?
Right. Obviously, right now things are a little bit in flux. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, and especially nobody knows when it's going to happen. But we have a very popular TV show that we're having a lot of fun doing, and ABC has been very, very supportive of us. So they have put things in motion to make sure that when things do start catching up again, and we do start up again, that we can actually hit the ground running. So we have opened up our writer's room so that people can virtually start writing new stories and new scripts, so that when we're ready to get back to work, we will be ready.
Well, we're ready to see you get back to work. Just so we're all on the same sheet of music, help our viewers know when and where they can find The Rookie.
It's going to be on ABC, whatever your affiliate for ABC is, on Sunday nights, 10 o'clock, 9 Central.
Okay. Nathan Fillion, thank you so much for talking with us. Stay safe.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, what a great guy. Woo! All right, thanks, Clyde. Well, coming up here on Cincy Lifestyle, you know, we kick up our sawdust. Not our sawdust, but some sawdust, and learn a fun spring project from Woodcraft. our friend John Denny shows us how to create a box with 3D flowers on it. All that and more in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Spring is definitely a sign of change, whether it's your wardrobe or your location. It's also a time to start a few new projects, and to help us out with one that we have on tap today, one of these projects is John Denny from Woodcraft. John, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Clyde. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely. What are we doing today?
Well, I thought we already had the April showers, so we might carve some spring or May flowers.
That sounds like a winner. And so you have a box here with what this ultimately is going to look like, because in 2.5 minutes, we're not quite going to get there.
Close, but not quite.
Not quite. Okay, so what are we doing?
Basically, this is a piece of basswood. It's just a piece of North American hardwood. And if you'll go ahead, I went ahead and did the stop cuts.
Okay, thank you.
So you're just going to go ahead and start. That's okay.
And try not to dig past the line there. There is a line. And this glove, by the way, is not just a fashion statement, right?
No, that's a Kevlar carving glove. So definitely a piece of safety equipment, if you will.
Okay, so...
And it's kept me from having to go to the hospital several times.
That's good to know, because
yes.
I'm not that good at this. But for folks who are looking at this and wondering, well, I might want to do this, a project of this type, how long would it take?
Well, to get to this point here with this one, it took me about 2 hours yesterday.
I can see why.
I would say a couple more hours to finish it up, and then multiply that by 4 if you wanted to make a box.
Okay.
They can be you can paint the flowers, you can leave them natural.
That was the next thing I was going to ask in terms of staining and that sort of thing. What do you recommend?
I'd recommend doing painting it, with some watercolors or acrylic paints, just to really dress it up and make it vibrant.
You got to kind of get the right angle going in here, don't you?
Exactly. You're getting there.
And I'm not on that right angle.
No, for somebody who's just picked up the gouge here. Let's go ahead and slide this up here, though. And you can let this is a bench hook, and this will hold it in place while you do carve.
Did you hear that, Mona? For somebody who's never done this before, I haven't lost not one finger.
Yeah, and that's the goal.
Clyde.
Okay, and so once we get this part done, this is kind of painstaking, but once we get this done, it then becomes a matter of putting that box together, yes?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, and basically just cutting miter joints from 45-degree angles and gluing it together, putting a box in it.
And so the total time, you say the total time into this project is 2 hours?
For this piece right here, yeah.
Okay, just for this piece?
Just for this piece.
The whole box?
The whole box would be 10 to 12 hours.
Okay, so I could keep doing this all day, and it does relieve stress, I can guarantee you that.
Yes, it does.
So just tell folks how they can get more information about woodcraft and projects like this and other things that they can
visit our website, woodcraft.com, pull up the Cincinnati store.
Do I get to keep the apron?
Well, come up to the store and I'll hook you up.
Okay, all right. John, thanks a bunch.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
My pleasure.
Nice job, Clyde. Well, we'll be back with more Cincy Lifestyle on the other side of the break. Plus, have you checked us out on YouTube? Yeah, we have full episodes there, and you'll find fun segments you've never seen before, or you can watch your favorites again and again. So subscribe now on youtube.com/Cincy Lifestyle.
Quick look outside. It's going to be a gloomy day today, and then the big chill hits as the evening wears on. So if you've got vegetation out there, make sure you take care of it and protect it. Mona?
That's
Happy
right, Clyde.
Mother's
Good
Day
tip.
weekend.
Well, coming up next week here. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Coming up next week here on Cincy Lifestyle, have you found some old photos you need to digitize? This is a good time to be looking for them. King County Library can help with that. They can even help you use those photos to start your genealogy research. We'll tell you how.
Then with all the rain in our forecast, why not use it for your garden? Great Parks Hamilton County will teach us how to harvest rainwater to create beautiful, thriving gardens. All that so much more next week on Cincy Lifestyle. And Mona?
Hey, Clyde, are you doing something special for your mom this weekend?
I'm going to give her a phone call. That's about as good as I can do right now.
Oh, I understand. That's Cincy Lifestyle for Friday, May 8th. We will be here next Monday, and we hope that you'll join us.
Hey, thank you so much for watching our video. Now, if you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button. You can also check out full episodes of the show you've never seen before, or watch your favorites again and again. And as always, be sure to make it a great day.